Good morning, Saturday, January 12th, 8:30 or so a.m. So out here in my garage, poking around on my motorcycle, so I figured I'd show what I got here. This is a complete project. I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing, but such is the case with a lot of things. I do. I just try to figure things out and see if I can learn something along the way. I mean, that's more the reason I got this, is just to try and teach myself how to work on these things. I had in my 20s, I had a couple motorcycles. Had old Suzuki. I forget what size it was. The thing was a beast. It was so heavy. That was my first bike. Terrible bike to learn how to ride on. And then I got a Honda Shadow. Had that for a few years, and ended up getting rid of that, and then didn't ride for a long time until 2019. I bought a new bike. It was brand new. It was a leftover from 18. It was a 2018 Kawasaki Vulcan Classic 900. I love that bike. Maybe I'll stick a picture of it in here. But I always wanted to learn how to work on them. And that bike, it was so new. It was like, I was afraid to take it apart and mess with it. Honestly, by the time I sold it, I wasn't really riding much, and it was just taking up space in my garage, and it was too nice to just be sitting here. And like, I was always afraid when I was working in my garage that I was gonna ding it up or something. So I ended up selling it. And then last summer, my neighbor, I've always known, I bought this off my neighbor, so I've always known he had this bike sitting in his garage since I moved here. I've been in this house 7 years, I think. It's wild. I've always known that he's had this thing sitting in his garage, because he showed it to me a few times, and every now and then I'd see him wheel it out and work on it or whatever. So last summer I was talking with him, and I hadn't seen it for a while, so I asked him. I said, "Hey, what happened to that bike you had?" And he was just like, "Yeah, it's sitting in my shed. I gave up on it. I'm selling it, first person with X amount of dollars takes it." And he was practically giving it away, the amount of money that he wanted for it. So the impulsive side of my brain just said, like, hold on. Do you have the title? Yes, I'll take it. So I just went and got some cash, gave him the cash, and we just pushed the thing over into my garage. So he hadn't done anything with it for probably 3 years. So I was just taking a complete gamble on it, which to me was fine because it was short money, and I look at it more as like just the experience of, like I said, I want to learn how to work on these things. For what reason? I don't know. It just kind of interests me. It's not like I'm going to get a job as a motorcycle mechanic or any, I don't know. It just, you know, tinkering around with mechanical stuff, and small engines and things like that. Every now and then I get an interest in working on some stuff like that. So let me show you the bike, and then I'll tell you what's going on with it. So there it is, 96, actually not 96 or 97. I don't remember off the top of my head. Kawasaki Vulcan Classic 1500. Apologize for the lighting in here. I'm in my garage, and I do not have a light on this side of my garage. But yeah, by far the biggest bike I've ever owned. So you can see it's kind of taken apart. There's the gas tank over there. There's all the parts and stuff that I got with it. So basically, when I got it, you know, obviously it wasn't running. The, let's see, gas tank was off, the carburetor was off, all the hoses were off, some electrical connections disconnected. Actually, most of the electrical connections were disconnected. Yeah, I just, it was apart. I mean, the engine's there, but everything else that connects everything was off. And like I said, I have no clue about any of this stuff. So the first step for me was just seeing if I could get it to run before I put any money into it. So I spent time, I got a manual. Actually, before I got the manual, he had told me that a friend of his went through the carburetor and rebuilt the carburetor. But for whatever reason, he still couldn't get it to turn over or to fire. So it just, I don't know. I just wanted to see it for myself. So the first thing I did was took the carburetor apart, and whatever his friend did, he did not, I don't know what he did, because the carburetor was a mess. So I cleaned that all out. I had to get a new, I think it was an accelerator pump. I got that, put the carburetor all back together. I got a manual to try and figure out where all the hoses go, because I mean, it was just a giant mess of spaghetti. I couldn't. So between the manual and online forums, man, what a pain in the neck trying to get hose diagrams. The way I eventually, I think, figured it out, I don't even know if I got it right, but I think I got it right, was the shape of the hoses. I just kind of looked at it as a puzzle, put everything together, like put all the parts where they went, and then tried to see where the hoses fit with all the connections everywhere. And then I started labeling everything, and then once I thought that I got that right, I connected everything, and fired it up, and it started. So after that, I just decided that I'm gonna at least replace hoses and at least get it in running condition. So I stripped it all back down. As of now, the plan is new hoses. Get another part I gotta get for the carburetor, if that's even available. I may have to get a whole new carburetor, I don't know. I gotta do brakes on this thing, and I think that's it for like necessities, you know, and basic service stuff, oil and all the liquids and that kind of stuff. And then from there, I'll figure out what I want to do with it, whether I want to keep it, sell it, whatever. You know, the fact of the matter is I could probably just turn around and sell it and make money on it the way it is, because I bought it for so cheap. But I really, you know, I just want to try and see it through to like a running bike. So once I get all that stuff done to where it's in running shape, then I'll reassess if I want to keep it. Because if I keep it, then, you know, then I start going into like what I want to do for the look of the bike, which is another thing. I have no idea. I have a bunch of thoughts about it. It comes with or I got it with a windshield. My initial thought is, well, change the seats. This is all if I end up keeping it. Change the seats, because I hate this stuff. Like, I don't know. I just don't like any of that stuff. And get some bags for it, because same thing. See, I got bags, but I don't like I just don't like that stuff. So new seat, new bags, and then maybe a fairing. I think it would look nice. And I got to do something with the exhaust too. That's another thing. The exhaust was what a pain that was getting those off. It's a Vance and Hines exhaust, but you know, animals kind of got in there and packed it. Not, they didn't get into the headers, but just they had some nests going, so I had to pull those. Actually, you can see I still don't have that one off. So maybe exhaust, I don't know. And then my other thought is just to completely like rat rod this thing. Just strip it down. Maybe something like that, where it's just a one-seater, not really a bobber, but just, you know, homemade, custom. We'll see. So yeah, that's my motorcycle. That's one of my projects when I have some time to screw around. The plan is to hopefully have it on the road mid to late spring, maybe early summer. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. So that's that. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. See you tomorrow. Okay, bye-bye.